Welcome back to the VR workshop. Today, we're on the final stretch. Eventually, this week, we're making progress. Good progress. The dyno results were great. We got lots of information, gave us a nice little list of things that we need to complete before we can pack this thing up and send it over to Bonneville. It's been a whole long slog getting to where we are now. It really has put up a fight, but it's good. We can see light at the end of the tunnel. In a couple of weeks, this thing is going to be flown over to the other side of the world for racing. So it's all good. We're slowly making our way through the list. We fixed intercooler. we're just finishing up an oil change right now. I do want to cut this filter out just to make sure there's nothing nasty. I'm going to give us a surprise. There's no metal or anything in it. It'll give us an indication of how healthy the engine is. A couple of more bits and pieces to do around this bike. We've got most of it done. We're just ticking our way through the list. So yeah, we're in a good place. One thing that I failed to share was the pistons. You obviously seen the pistons going into this engine, along with lots of swearing and lots of things getting thrown around the workshop that day. But what we didn't show you is the unboxing of the pistons and the underside of them, just to show the difference between a standard Ducati piston and the uprated Piston forged piston. So I'm going to show you that now. Now, please measure combustion chamber, no warranty for exact compression ratio. So these pistons are standard OEM compression ratio pistons. They are not high compression. If I needed high compression pistons, I could have had them months and months ago. But as it's a blown engine with a turbo, we want to keep the compression ratio standard as possible. So we have instructions in German and in English, telling us how to install them. We have some gudgeon pin rings, 2 of each. We have 2 gudgeon pins, you feel that. Oh, aren't they pretty? 1 set of rings. Now, I don't mind saying so, they are pretty damn sexy. Wow, the finish is amazing. Yeah, they're quite special. I'm kind of curious how much they would be versus the original piston in weight. Well, it really matters. Let me get another one, we'll put them side by side. Alrighty. There is some differences. The area where the gudgeon pin goes seems to be a lot more material around it, and you've also got these webbing strips around each end, which the standard pistons don't have. The cutouts seem to be more deliberate than the cast versions. But the skirts, actually, and the skirt is quite a bit larger in diameter. There's a substantial more material on this skirt than the standard OEM one. Interesting. The face of the piston looks exactly the same. Actually, yeah. Just out of curiosity, just weigh them. 370 versus 355, and we're obviously missing a bit with this one, so they're probably the same weight. Damn, they're gorgeous. They are sexy. Okay, so you can see a lot of aluminium smush. A lot of that is going to be from the initial wear, probably a remainder of what chomped last year, and a lot of the stuff that we used to put the engine together back again. So there's no bits in it, that's the main thing. And looking at the filter within the pleats, there's nothing in that either. So, seeing that? No. Very good. Some tiny slivers of metal, but not a lot to be concerned about. It's just probably gearbox chips and bits and pieces. Bear in mind, this is a Ducati. They're not exactly the most perfectly built engines, so yeah, that's a success. There's nothing wrong with that engine at all. Looks pretty damn healthy. In a mess, but it looks healthy. Another job on the list is to empty out the race fuel in the system. The MS109 race fuel from VP that we're running at the moment, it's a mixed bag of information whether you can leave the fuel in the system for any long period of time. We've found from our experience that it does tend to gum up the injectors, so we're not going to take the risk. There's only a little bit left of fuel in here anyway. We're going to drain it out, put standard 98 RON fuel in here, start up the bike, we'll run it through the system, and then we'll drain the tank, but leave the standard 98 in whatever's there, so it's not going to gum up or do any issues. This is going on an aircraft, so they don't tend to like having fuel in it, even though it is going to go as dangerous goods. But we're going to be putting Sunoco fuel in this as soon as we get there anyway, so it makes sense to do this now and leave the tank empty. So, we'll get that done. It really is a shame that we're not going to be running MS109 this year, because that's near enough a full tub of it. Now the Sunoco fuel we're going to be using, which is the standard fuel we've got to use for making records. They've changed the fuel regulation for this year. It's Sunoco GT, either 240 or 260, which does have a lesser octane than this fuel, but it is a highly oxygenated fuel. I think it's 104 or similar. So it's not going to be too different, but it is different. And of course we've never mapped the engine with it, so we'll just hope and pray that it's going to be okay. Okay, it's pretty dry. Uh-oh. Of course, that's on camera. Me making a mess. It's only fuel. Don't try that at home, kids. Oops. Right. I would say that's the fuel all the way through the system. Getting good fuel pressure. You can hear it going through the pump. So, we'll just give it a quick start. Let it idle for a couple of minutes, and we'll call it good. Oh, good. That's back on standard fuel. Another little issue we found during the dyno runs was an oil leak. And it's coming from this nut right here. You can actually even see still got remnants of oil lying on top of it. I mean, it is a 20-year-old engine. These nuts are probably much the same age. Because they're little rubber washers behind it and they squash down. So it's probably just lost a bit of squish and it's not sealing all the way around. So I'm going to try and fix this without having to take off the rocker box and break the seal and having to clean the gasket and yada yada yada. We'll see if we can make an easy fix first. Well, it didn't take too long to understand what the issue is. You can see that all the other ones have got small bits of rubber poking out of them. So looking at the other rocker boxes, you realise that that's missing. It's probably fallen off during the countless amounts of engine changes and piston changes and everything else that's been going on. So, well, that was an easy fix. And yeah, without one of that, no wonder the oil's popping up through there. So it really was an easy fix. So easy, we don't even need to test it. Just tighten it, and it's good to go. Now that we've got all the oil and everything in, one of the key things, like any motorcycle racing, is lock wiring everything. So most racing, you're going to lock wire the fill line, you're going to lock wire the sump plug, and you're going to lock wire the drain plug. But the regulations we have here is the same, and also all the oil lines. So everything that's got oil related gets lock wired. That includes in a Ducati, there's strainers and different sump plug lines, including the main plug. So having to lock wire everything and the filter. I don't have any more K&M filters left, which actually have a line at the bottom so you can lock wire through it. So just clamp a Jubilee clip on it and then lock wire the Jubilee clip. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're doing now the oil's been topped up, we'll do this line, but that also includes, we've got the headlines and the turbo line. We need to do the drain line for the turbo as well. That's not been done yet. And then we'll be happy to go through tech. It's just a scuttery job, it really is. But it's not new. Every motorcycle race has it. Once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Beautiful. We are winning. So another good day of work. There's not a lot left on that list. There's some dash work we need to do with actually just the software of the dash to double check where the boost warning is and maybe adjust it, and see if we can change up the heads-up display for the camera, see if we can put different bits of information on there for when we're doing runs. It's all laptop stuff. We need to adjust the ECU and adjust the air-fuel ratio from about 8,000 RPM onwards, like we mentioned on the last video. We add about 4% of fuel. It's going to cool down the engine a little bit. It's going to give us a bit of a margin of safety, especially if we're running fuel we've never ran before. So that's, but again, it's laptop, it's software, not a lot of workshop stuff to do there. Under tray, the original under tray came to here, and then we extended it to here to box in this area because we've got ducting coming through. We've since made another under tray, it's over there somewhere, which comes to here, and that will cover the ballast weight, which is now fitted as well. And it's going to be slightly wider, so it sits in the middle of the frame rails. I haven't tried it yet. It may not be something we actually run with, but it's something we're going to try. We just need to get the whole bike off and we'll play around with that. It's not important. If it's going to start causing us issues, we'll just use this under tray again. It's not the end of the world. It's just a trial thing. Stickers. So you'll notice that the side panels are off the bike at the moment. This year's design is pretty much finalized, so we've just got to finalize the sponsors and the design, and that will go off to Rowena at Decals, and she'll get all that done and looking rather pretty. So we're almost there. Then we put it in a transport case, strap it down, forget about it, and start dealing with everything else. We need to sort both these flight cases out, need to fix that engine, need to adjust the rear cam exhaust. It's another job in itself. Yeah, we're getting there. It's coming. Thanks for bearing with us through another video. It's only a couple more videos to go before we're doing this on the Salt. Join us next time.